Hello everyone and welcome back to our new lesson, and today is lesson number 11, and lesson number 11 is going to be about the jab to the body. Now I got a comment on my last video asking about this, so I'm going to talk about this a little bit more in depth today, and I'm going to show you how to throw a jab to the body more safely, how to use the jab to the body to set up punches, and the positioning and different types of jabs to the body. So there's a few types of jabs to the body depending on what you're trying to accomplish. So we're going to go into that. Okay, as always, let's start off with the stance. I'm here in my stance. I'm bladed sideways. My hands are up, my chin is down, and I'm like this. Okay, now in the jab video we said when we go to the body with the jab, we have to get our head as low as our jab, meaning if my jab is going to be this high, so at this level, my head is going to be at that same level where my shoulder is covering my chin, my head is down, and I'm not reaching in with my jab, okay? So I'm not jabbing down like this, I'm getting the same level of my jab, okay? So that's first things first, is you have to get your head at the same level of your jab. Okay, now, this is a little bit more advanced, but I'm going to show you guys this anyways because I like doing this, especially in the first couple of rounds. Now, when you become more experienced, as I always say, you kind of know what stance to use in what situation depending on range. But there's another thing that you could use, or a different type of stance, which is standing completely sideways. Now, you might think, well, I'm off balance here, and if I get hit, I'm in trouble. Well, let me show you something. From this stance, from the sideways stance, I'm not stepping in like how I usually would step in like this. I'm actually stepping in sideways. And why do I do that? I'm trying to create as much distance from my head to my opponent, and I'm trying to get as much distance as I can on my jab. So what that looks like is I'm stepping in sideways, and my right hand is actually in front of my face. So you can't even get a left hook, you can't land a right hand or anything on me right here, and I step out. Sorry, the mic is dancing a little bit. So I'm here. Okay, now I like using this in the first round. If I'm just trying to stick my jab to the body, I'll be sideways, and then I'll step out. Okay, so that's one type of jab that I like using in the beginning. Especially if I'm really trying to keep someone away and I'm really trying to stab with the jab to the body, I'll use that one. Now you might say, well, how do I move in this situation? Well, what you could do is that you just walk forward and you walk backward, but you're still aimed at your opponent, and you could kind of circle them, kind of like this or like here, stick it, and then move and walk. And as I come here, the only difference between this and my actual stance is just stepping out to the side, and now I could actually throw my punches, okay? So if you're just trying to jab, if I'm only trying to jab for about 30 seconds or 15 seconds, and I know that's what I'm going to be doing, I'll go sideways like this, where you can't land anything. My right hand is in front of my body. Good luck landing the left hook because I'm way too far back, and I'm stepping in and I'm stepping out, okay? So this is more advanced. This is when you know you're going to jab for a little while. You kind of go in that stance. You walk around. I could walk, stick it, come back out, and all that type of stuff. Okay? Now, the jab to the body, it's usually thrown when you're a little bit farther away, because if you're a little bit closer, it's a little bit more dangerous to throw. So I'm going to show you another footwork trick for your jab to the body. This could be used for the jab to the head also, so it's not just for the body, but this is called bringing up the back foot first, or loading up the back foot. Now, if my jab is here, okay, and my opponent is there, and I step in with my jab, well, it might be short, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up my right foot or my back foot first, right? Now my feet are closer together. Now I'm going to step into the jab to the body, okay? So from here, instead of me going just one and being too far back, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up my back foot and then step in, and I'm going to get more distance. Now, after I step in, what I'm going to do is, so I brought up my back foot, I stepped in. What I'm going to do now, as the jab, right after the jab lands, I'm going to take my lead foot I'm gonna step back, and then I'm gonna step back, okay? This is how you can get in and out quick without staying too long in front of your opponent. So what that looks like is, I'm here, and I'm back here, and I'm back here, okay? That's the footwork I use when I really want to get a jab to the body and get out, is I bring up my back foot, I jab, and then I bring back my lead foot, and then I step back, and now I'm out, okay? So if I want to be in and out quick, that's the type of jab I use, or type of footwork I use for the jab. Now, with the jab to the body, you want to have your head off center, of course, because you don't want the opponent's jab to get you, and you don't want the right hand to get you, so you're going to be here, okay? Now, in most common scenarios, when you do jab the body, a lot of people are going to throw the lead uppercut or hook at you, so you are in trouble here. So what you could do is you could put your hand across like this, okay, where nothing could really land, or you could keep this like this. But if my opponent is going to counter with their lead hand, I'm going to jab to the body like this, okay? But in most scenarios, I'm going to put my right hand, my right thumb on my left shoulder, bring my left shoulder close, and now I stick it and bring it out, okay? Now, there's different reasons you jab to the body. You jab to the body to keep someone away from you, you jab to the body to set up something to the head, and you jab to the body to close the distance. Now, this jab that I showed you already, bringing the back foot up, sticking the jab, and then coming back, this is just to get in and out, okay? Now, I've watched fighters like Mickey Ward and Lok Vasim, I think he was Mongolian, and these two guys, they use the jab to the body a little bit different. They used it to actually close the distance, okay? So I've never used the jab to the body to close distance. I've used it only to keep someone away or get in and out. But you can use it to close the distance. And what they do actually, they don't get that low with the jab, but they kind of shoot it down, and they kind of like rush the opponent. If you watch my videos of Mickey Ward versus Arturo Gatti, you'll see me comment about this. So like Mickey Ward will jab to the body and kind of like fall. He'll be like, and he'll kind of close the distance, or he'll go like this to close the distance. Now this one's, I wouldn't use it for me because it's gonna run me into a punch. It's more for a pressure fighter type person, but I wouldn't really use it, but you can use it to close the distance. And like I said, they're here, they kind of jab to the body, they put their hands up and kind of keep walking forward, and they close that distance, okay? Now, the first jab I was telling you about, the in and out one, as always, you want to keep most of your weight on your back leg. Why? If this foot is heavy, when I step into the jab, I can't come out as fast because there's too much weight forward. I want my lead foot to stay really light, okay? So when it's light, it could be moved faster. If it's heavy, it's going to get stuck. So I'm keeping it light. It's heavy, okay? So you want to keep your lead foot light so you can move it in and out quick, and you want to be in and out quick, okay? So I use it to step in, and then I use the same foot to step out of there, and then bring back my back foot. Now I'm farther away, okay? That's kind of the main focus of the jab to the body. Keep your head off center, a little bit more sideways. You don't want to come in like this because the right hand's right there. You want to be angled off. You want to drop it. You want to get as low, and you want to sit down. If you watch my break studies, my fight studies on Floyd Mayweather Jr., you'll always see me commenting about how he sits down when he jabs to the body, and he's literally sitting like he's sitting in a chair. He sits down and then comes back up, okay? So the lower you get to, when you throw the jab to the body, the better, because you are forcing your opponent to punch down, okay? Now, the jab to the body is great because if you could touch your opponent's stomach with the jab to the body over and over again, then any other punch you throw has a high chance of landing. If I can't land the jab to the body and my opponent's stepping away, I'm going to have a hard time landing my right hand or my left hook. And This is mostly seen by Floyd Mayweather, who starts every single fight with the jab to the body. Once he starts landing the jab to the body, then he starts throwing his right hands and left hooks. If he's not landing the jab to the body yet, then he kind of doesn't throw his other punches until he starts really landing it, okay? So, I want to start landing this one. I want to start landing this one. Now, when I get here, my opponent is now thinking about their stomach, and now it's going to give me an opportunity to go to the head. So when I start going here, and it's constantly working for a round or two, well, now I could go here, and I could step in with my right hand. I could jab the body, come up with the left hook. I could jab the body, come up with a jab to the head. And you could kind of start playing off of the jab to the body. So what playing off means is you're landing the jab to the body first, and then you're adding onto it something else, okay? Sorry, I gotta catch my breath. So that's what it means to work off the jab to the body. Now, the best pair for the jab to the body is the jab to the head. So you have the head right here, and I have the stomach right here. Well, I might fake the jab to the body, so I might be here like I'm low, about to go to the body, and then step out, okay? I might have my hand in front of my opponent's face, and then drop to the body, okay? I could have my hands going up and down, and then jab wherever. I'm moving it, stick it, come out, stick it, come out. Now when I got my opponent thinking about this and this, okay, now they're really trying to cover up from here and here. Now I'm going here. Now I could go here. Now I could go. Now I could start doing these things, okay? But it all works off the jab to the body, okay? Now, you don't always have to start with the jab to the body. You could start with the jab to the head and then start throwing the body jab. But it's up to you. Personally, now this is the main reason I like the jab to the body. Sorry, I need to catch my breath again. Okay. When you are going to throw a punch, you're thinking about pros and cons. Okay. What's the chances of me landing the shot? And what's the chance of my opponent hitting me back? Okay. With every single punch, the risk to reward ratio is pretty high. So if I throw a right hand, there's a pretty high risk of me getting hit back with a right hand, especially in the first couple rounds when my opponent is fresh. If I throw a left hook, there's a big chance that I might get hit with a left hook or something, okay? Now the jab to the body has the highest reward and the lowest risk of any punch. So what that means is, because the body is so big, because I'm punching low away from my opponent's hands, it's a high reward for me to actually land the punch, and the risk is pretty low because I could step back out. Now this is if you're doing it right, of course. If you do it wrong, it's not the same. But the jab to the body, when I first start the fight, that's the easiest punch to land and the safest punch to land, okay? In addition to the jab to the head. Now, if I'm fighting someone, they're moving a lot, and I just can't land anything, I'm going to stop for a second, and I'm going to go back to the jab to the body. This is a great way to kind of I don't know how to say it, readjust or replan your attack. So if my opponent is a good mover and nothing is catching them, okay, I'm going to step back for a second, and then I'm going to start working on landing the jab to the body. Once I start landing that, then I'll get the confidence and the ideas to start doing other things. But when I can't land anything, the jab to the body is my main target. Now, we've talked about how good the jab to the body is to land, but as a fighter, you never want to let someone jab to your body, okay? For the same reason that I already mentioned, if someone could touch your stomach with a jab, they could land everything else. So you do not want let someone hit you in the stomach. This is why I like standing like this. So when the jab to the body does come, I could flick it out with my elbow, or I could kind of turn away from it like this, or flick it. And I don't care if you hit me with a lucky right hand, but I'm not going to let you hit me with a jab to the body, okay? If I could keep away from your jab to the body, I know that all your other punches are going to kind of be short, or they're not going to land as clean. okay? But a lot of fighters have this misconception that the jab to the body doesn't always hurt. So they let you hit, they let you hit them with the jab to the body over and over again. They're like, it doesn't hurt. I'm taking it, it doesn't really hurt. But what's bad is that the opponent is getting closer and closer to your main area, and now the big punches are going to start landing because you neglected defending against the body jab, okay? Now, there's a lot of defenses for the jab to the body. There's people that jab back. There's another trick that I want to show you, but it's hard to show you because I don't have someone with me. But Roberto Duran did this against Iran Barkley. I might add it to the end of this video maybe, where when the jab comes, he kind of puts his lead hand on Barkley's shoulder and kind of pushes him down. You could throw the right hand over the top, but one of the best ones is when the jab to the body comes, you can go with a 45, it's called like a shovel hook, between the uppercut and a hook and a long shot. You just go like this, because most of the time, like I said, the fighter is going to be leaning this way. So if I'm here, I'm going to be throwing it this way, and it's going to be around where their face is, okay? So that's kind of the best reply to a jab to the body. Now, like I said, the jab to the body is a very easy punch to land, but if you do it correctly, you do not want to lean into the jab. You don't want to keep your front foot heavy where you're stuck like this. You don't want to throw it from too close, because when you don't have enough space to kind of drop down, you want to be a little bit farther away, a little bit long range stance. I'm bringing up my back foot, I'm sticking in, and I'm stepping out. When I step out, I bring my lead foot back, then I bring my right foot back, and now I'm reset. I'm walking, a lot of feinting when I'm about to jab the body, a lot of looking around, and then step out, and then step out, okay? So that's kind of the main reasons you jab to the body, and those are the main reasons you don't want to get jabbed to the body, okay? I highly suggest you watch my video of Arturo Gatti versus Mickey Ward. I have 2 parts on that fight, the first fight, and you'll see what I meant by Mickey Ward throwing the jab to the body and kind of stepping in and closing distance, and that's one of the best examples I could give you for that. The other way, if you watch my videos about Floyd Mayweather jabbing to the body, how he's in and out, that's another thing you can watch. Sorry guys, I'm talking real fast. And that's kind of the main things I wanted to share today. One more thing is, when I jab to the body, I could throw it from here. So I could go like, boom, where it's hidden, where you don't really see it. So we could be fighting here, and I'm looking at you, and my hand is already level with the body. So instead of me going here and dropping down to the body where you see it, I'm kind of here. I'm looking at you, feinting the right hand, and my hand is already level with the body, okay? So I could throw it from here where I could sneak it in, okay? The more hands up guys, they kind of throw the jab to the body like this, they drop with it. That's not bad, but it's a little bit less sneaky. Now I'll show you another jab to the body where you don't have to get as low. So if I'm close to my opponent about this far, right, and we're fighting, I'll just sneak in a jab to the body this way. So it's an up jab, but it's to the body. So we'll be here. So I could sneak in an up jab without really dropping my body, because my hands are still up and I'm not really leaning in. It's just like a jab to the head or an up jab to the head, but I'm just touching here, maybe getting them to kind of close up a little bit, and then I can land the right hand, okay? So that's as much as I know about the jab to the body. Yeah, that's it. What else do I want to say about the jab to the body? So yeah, my first point about moving around, I'll talk about that a little bit more. If you watch Chris Eubank Sr. versus Michael Watson 1, you'll see Senior moving in the way I'm telling you. So you stand sideways. Now I'm walking forward and I'm walking backwards, but I'm walking around the opponent. And then I could step in, I'm closed off, I'm walking, okay? So that's another way you can move around the ring. It's called walking. It's a little bit more advanced, so you don't want to do it as a beginner, because when you are here, you got to know how to change your distance and walk back and walk forward. But this is a really good way to kind of make yourself appear longer, especially with your lead hand. And the only difference between this and this is literally my back foot. So I could be walking, step out with my lead foot, and now I'm facing my opponent. Or I could be walking forward, step out with my back foot, now I'm facing my opponent. So it's really easy to switch between being sideways and then in your stance. Maybe I'll do a separate video just on this, but that's a really nice way to get the jab to the body to land. Because you are sideways, you're a small target, you're moving, you're walking, and then you kind of get out, and now I'm facing my opponent all over again. Okay, guys, so that's it for the jab to the body. Next video, I'm not sure what I'm going to talk about, but I'll think about something. I might want to talk about shadow boxing and the different levels of shadow boxing, why we shadow boxing, what to think about when you're shadow boxing, and all that type of stuff. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.